Inside Donald Trump's explosive Zoom showdown with Yoweri Museveni and Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, in a development that would mark an extraordinary twist in Uganda's fraught political landscape, Donald Trump reportedly chaired a high-level virtual meeting bringing together President-elect Yoweri Museveni and opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, widely known as Bobi Wine. According to sources familiar with the matter, the reported engagement, described by insiders as tense and inconclusive, comes roughly 2 weeks after Kyagulanyi is said to have left the country following nearly 2 months in hiding. His alleged departure followed a military raid on his residence in Magere in January. Shortly after a disputed presidential election in which he lost to longtime incumbent Museveni, Kyagulanyi and members of his family are believed to be in the United States, though the precise circumstances of his exit remain unclear. He was recently sighted at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. where he was reportedly lobbying for a meeting with Trump to draw attention to Uganda's political situation. People briefed on the virtual talk said the two Ugandan leaders failed to reach agreement on several contentious issues, chief among them the outcome of the 2026 presidential election, which Kyagulanyi continues to insist he won despite official results indicating otherwise. Tensions reportedly escalated during the closed-door session. Museveni is said to have reacted angrily after Kyagulanyi accused his administration of presiding over worsening corruption and governance failures. Trump allegedly intervened at that point, urging the Ugandan leader to clean his house. According to the same sources, Kyagulanyi also reportedly raised concerns about the November 2020 riots, during which at least 54 people were killed and dozens more injured. He criticized the government for what he described as a failure to adequately compensate victims and their families. In response, Museveni is said to have defended the conduct of state security agencies, arguing that their actions were necessary to prevent the country from descending into chaos. He reportedly added that authorities had compiled a verified list of victims and that compensation efforts were ongoing. Trump is further said to have pressed both sides to move swiftly toward de-escalation, warning that failure to uphold human rights standards could trigger punitive measures against Uganda, including sanctions that might restrict international travel and limit access to global financial systems. "We shall not come to your country to resolve your internal issues, as we have. Pressing matters in the Middle East and elsewhere," Trump reportedly said during the exchange. According to participants, perhaps most notably, sources claimed the discussions included a proposal for a power-sharing arrangement that would see Museveni fast-track legal amendments to appoint Kyagulanyi as vice president with expanded executive authority. While Museveni reportedly resisted the idea, he was advised that such a move could help ease tensions between the ruling National Resistance Movement and Kyagulanyi's opposition National Unity Platform. The reported talks come against the backdrop of Uganda's January 15 election, in which Museveni was declared the winner with 71% of the vote, securing 794,6772 ballots against Kyagulanyi's 274,1238. Days after the election, on January 23, security forces raided Kyagulanyi's home in Magere. He later claimed that heavily armed personnel, some in uniforms associated with the Special Forces Command and others in plain clothes, forcibly entered the residence. They came with ladders, broke doors, and damaged property as they searched the house, Kyagulanyi said in a previous account. The Chief of Defense Forces, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, later confirmed that the Uganda People's Defense Forces conducted the operation but rejected allegations that Kyagulanyi's wife, Barbara, had been assaulted. "My soldiers did not beat Bobi Wine's wife. We do not target women. Our interest was her husband," he said at the time. He added that the search for Kyagulanyi had since been suspended on the orders of the commander-in-chief. While the account of this high-stakes diplomatic intervention has circulated widely, readers should note that the scenario is entirely fictional. The story is published on April 1, widely recognized as April Fool's Day, and is intended as satire rather than factual reporting.